Did you see that, Nachi? It's time to hydrate with some Kirkland signature purified water using code NDMU.
Hello? Hi. Hey, hey, hello. Oh my god. Hello. My wings are in the way. Oh my god. Hold on. How do I do that again? Okay, there we go, there we go. Let's hey. Hello. How is everyone today? Yeah. How is everyone today? Yes. Yes. How is everyone today? Huh? Hmm? Hell yeah. Are you noticing something in the top right corner? Yes. I updated some overlay. I updated another overlay. So yeah. Before it was different. It was different before. I don't know if you noticed, but yeah, I updated it. But yeah. How is everyone? How is everyone? Sorry, it I was supposed to go live like 2 hours ago, but then I was like, I'm still not done updating this, so I'm like, I should question mark update this. I'm like, yeah. All right, I'm back. Okay, let me check. So Zoro was in my chat. I just caught Zoro was in my chat. This stupid potato, this stanky potato is lurking on my chat all this time. Oh my god. So yeah, he caught me testing something. Well, aside from the overlay that I did today, aside from that, of course, that one's kind of easy, you know. The one that I've been cooking in the back is like I added later I think you should be able to see. Yeah, later you'll be able to see a certain timed message indicating something about the channel emotes and stuff. But yeah, I was updating some emotes for 7TV on yeah, you should be able to see it. Yes. And I've been cooking as well on the side. It's almost done. You should be able to see it by next stream, hopefully. Yes. And I'm sorry if I've been like slacking. I've been oh my god, I've been slacking with the video editing, like clip editing. I know I should be posting at least twice a week, but I mean, mental health comes first. And yeah, I've been kind of busy, you know, gaming with and hanging around with a certain, yes, person. Hey. But yeah. Well, what else? What else? Oh, yeah, we're gonna do. I don't know if it's me. I can hear you. What? What? The But it says huh? Am I? Am I cooked by my huh? The book? The book is wrong with me. It says the right microphone though. Hold on. Says okay. Audio. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, is it because of this? Hello? Do you hear me now? Please tell me you hear me now. Hello? Tell me, please. Tell me you hear me now. But what is wrong with Scuff? Scuff. Imagine Scuff. Oh my god. It's me. Ah, god damn. God damn. I was yapping all this time. I didn't know if I could hear myself, man. What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Damn you muted me on stream. Is crazy. It's crazy. I've been doing some type shit with my mic right now, like, bruh. Okay. It's fixed? Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. Anyway, so yeah. Was strange because it said you had volume in the stream. Yeah. Like I can see my mic audio mixer like going up, not like almost peaking as well. Fire. Ah, I will bite you. You silly fire. Okay, we're gonna do some short stream. Yosh. We're gonna stream short stream, but before that, I'm gonna be like updating a little bit. So, serious updates. I decided to have next week. Wait, was it next week? Yeah, next week. I'll be out. Like, I'll be not streaming this coming March 22nd and 23rd. Might be until 24th. I don't know yet. But I will not be streaming on those days because my house is gonna be yes. So I already arranged for the electrician, yes, to fix my electricity stuff. The donathon is still gonna be ongoing. Yes, but I decided to have the electricity fixed now. Yes, I'm gonna have it fixed. Like the the sparks that I hear in the kitchen near the box is always making me so uneasy. So I can't take it anymore. I don't want to risk it anymore since um the summer stuff is coming by. Hi, Coffee. Oh my god. Wait, what? No one claimed first. It was Coffee. Oh my god. Hi, Coffee. Hi. Hi. Oh my god, you lost big. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, what is that greediness, Coffee? Anyway, so moving back to the chat, I mean to the yapper. So yeah, I decided to take a loan already on a private lending company near my area. So I know it's gonna be a big risk, like in terms of debt, but I really can't risk life versus money, you know. I really need to fix this shit. It's so scary just hearing it spark and here and there. So the donut one is still ongoing. Hopefully the donut one will help pay for it. At least half of it. At least half, because honestly I'm like I don't know if I could pay for it with my current salary. I'm still trying to find a new company, but no one's turning up like with good offers, or like the hiring offers are like not fit for my role. So I'm still hoping for a better one that will pop out soon, but for now with my current job, it's not gonna pay well with the debts and like my current lifestyle and stuff. I'm also been trying to lessen a lot of stuff, like lessen eating, lessen a lot of like bills and stuff. I managed to like this month I managed to lessen my electricity bill by one fourth, by a quarter, thankfully. Um but like it's not enough. It's not enough, honestly. So I really need to at least get a higher paying job to pay for the debts that I have. I'm paying for a lot of stuff right now, IRL, and this loan that I just took just to make sure that I'm safe and sound in the house is really important to me. And if I don't get it paid within 6 months, that's um the amount that I agree, the not the amount, the what they call the duration, the duration that I agreed for the loan from this private loan company is at 6 months. I have to pay it within 6 months. So every month for every month for 6 months I will have to pay $1,000, $1,200, because they have an interest of 20%. And they calculated it in front of me like, oh yeah, if you're gonna take a loan of $1,000, so this is just approximately, okay, in Filipino pesos, I loaned 50,000 pesos. So they told me like, okay, we will lend you 50,000 pesos, but within 6 months you will have to pay 60,000 pesos. Um, we will divide it in 6 months. So, every month I will have to pay at least 12,000. Was it? I'm sorry. Wait, wait. Where's the paper? Where's the paper? Hold on. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm dumb. Yeah, every month I will have to pay 10,535 pesos. And I asked them, what is what is the 535 pesos extra? What is this? Isn't it supposed to be like 10,000 only because in within 6 months? And then they're like, yeah, but those are like the miscellaneous fees that we will also charge on your end. You will also have to pay like the fee, the what you call it, like they have some like miscellaneous fees, and including them is like the paperworks, the lot of stuff that they have. So I'm like, okay, 10,500 is crazy. 10,500 per month, and I can't. I can't, like, so if I were to show you my current expenses, yeah. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. Okay, I'm gonna cry. So, like, bruh, let me tell you, like, I am paying 17,000 pesos already for the house that I am living in. and then now I have to add 10,000 to that, so 27,000 per month just for the house. So, and in like, take note, 27,000 pesos is monthly, is like above minimum wage already for Filipino, like above minimum wage for monthly Filipinos income. And that's only spent on house. I can't. Well, I mean, my current salary right now, because I work in an IT company. So I'm like, bruh, yes, I do have a bigger, not really big. So I do have bigger salary compared to the normal minimum wage earners. But with the amount that I am paying for, it's not enough. Considering the inflation with a lot of stuff, like, just food itself, it's getting very expensive by the day. Transportation is also getting expensive because of oil hikes. And on top of that, like utility bills as well. I have to pay electricity, I have to pay for my internet, I have to pay for my water bill. I have to pay for. Actually, I canceled my Netflix for this shit. I canceled my Netflix. I canceled Crunchyroll. I canceled like a lot of stuff that I don't really watch more much anymore. Because if I could just sail the seven seas, right? But like, bruh, I can't. My current salary, I need double of it. I need double of my current salary just to be able to pay for the debts. Like, oh my god. To add to that, I also have credit card debt. Because I swipe for the PC that I'm currently using right now for streaming. I swipe $1,000 to to uh to buy this PC, because I was hoping like I could use it for like hopefully streaming and earning a little bit on the side. But it, like, the things that I've been doing on the side, like, I've been trying like, what you call this, not VA, but like more of like a pork type shit, uh freelancing type shit, in the internet. It's not it's not working. I've been trying. I've been trying ways to get money. I didn't want to do like donathon and stuff, but like, yeah, like my situation kind of forces me to do this. As much as possible, I wanted to pay for it myself, everything. So yeah. So yeah, sorry, I it became a vent or something. But yeah, TLDR, no stream next weekend. Because the house is gonna be renovated, because of, not really renovated. The house wiring will be redone, will be rewired next weekend. So I won't have any problems anymore in terms of electricity stuff. I will be able to sleep a bit more soundly, because yes, no, no more sparky spark that I can hear whenever I try to use an appliance. Also, what you call this? Yes, getting more in depth because of this. So I have three big debts, the three big loans that I have currently on my name right now. One is the house that I'm living in. Second is my credit card that is maxed out, that I've been trying to pay for monthly, but it's not letting me catch up to it. And lastly is the donathon. Not the donathon, the home rewiring, I mean. The donathon goal, which is the house electrical rewiring. All of it. So in total, I have a $3,000. No, $2,000 debt. 1,000 for the electrical wiring. 1,000 for the credit card. $1,000, and a whopping a whopping $45,000 for the house itself. But I mean, the house is gonna be paid within 30 years. I am giving 30 years, half of my life, to pay for this shit. So I don't mind having a $45,000 debt for the house because it means it gets to be mine. And I'm currently living in it, and I'm like, yeah, it's like a rent to own type shit. Anyway, so like the ones that I'm really really like alarmed about is the wiring debt and the credit card. Hi Carvin, welcome to the stream. Hi, I'm just yapping for now. Honestly, I just want to yap. Nyaho, hello, good morning. How are you? How are you? How is everyone? Yes. Oh, I was with hi earlier when I heard hi. I'm like, hey, yo, hey. Rosie! Hi! Welcome! How are you? Hello. Welcome. How are you? How are you doing? Doing well, just about to go out. Oh, good luck! Good luck with touching grass. Good luck with that. I'm good. Like physically, I'm good. Mentally, I'm struggling. But yeah, we ball. You know. I was talking about how I took another $1,000 debt just to fix my home rewiring as soon as possible, and hopefully the donation will be able to pay for it, at least 50% of it. So yeah, I just finished dinner, enjoying a nutty stream. Feel free to enjoy the stream, Rosie. Yes, I plan to do some short games today. Actually, that's why I'm like short stream, maybe. But I plan to do some short games, like not really short games. Probably an hour or two short game. Might be a horror, might be a card game. I don't know yet. Hey, Cuckoo! Hi, Cuckoo. Thank you for the headband. Wait, why is the headband not there again? Nachi short stream. Me sick? Are you guys used to me streaming for so long already? That's crazy. Why?
Your mom's car.
And then your mom's car. And then hi nephew. Oh my god. You jump scared me. I was replying to someone on Discord. Alright. I'm sorry. No. No need to say sorry for that, okay? How is you, nephew? How is your day? Good evening, I guess? Good evening? Wait, it's 7 p.m. there, right? 7:40 p.m. I remember DST is done already. Is it? Is DST done already? Good was working outside. Oh my god, how is work? Oh my god, you're working on weekends. I hope you're taking care of yourself properly. You're hydrating. Also, oh my god. Oh yeah. I remember. Oh my god, you guys. I have a funny. I don't know if this is a funny story, but Man, I earlier when I woke up. Okay, okay, okay. Let me brew my tea real quick. Wait, let me brew my tea real quick. All right, you guys. We're gonna talk about tea. Okay. So, um, not really a tea. You know, I just wanna brew my tea so I could yap properly. You know. So earlier when I woke up, I was like still in bed rot mode. Yes. Um, I saw Eru's stream. One of my Oshi, he's Eruchu. Um, so she went streaming like IRL stream, and while she's in Japan, I'm like, oh, I missed the queen, and I'm like, oh my god. So I was like chatting in her stream, and then she had to dip. And I'm like, oh man, she had to dip, but she said she'll be online again or she'll be going live again when she gets home or when she's near home. So I'm like, okay, let me search for another person to watch while I'm still bed rotting. I went to one of my other Oshi, which is Kyun Shino, another Filipino VTuber. He's kind of big in the in the Filipino VTubing community. So I'm like, okay. I watched Gyunchino. And then I'm like, as soon as I tuned in, as soon as I opened his stream, he was like, "Oh, we're having a raffle like right now because I released my voice pack," and I'm like, "Oh, raffle! Oh my god! Oh, Kuya Konyo." Yeah, he's kind of known for being Konyo because he kind of speaks English a bit more frequently. But like, oh my god, I like Hinchino because yeah, honestly, the reason why I watch him the most is because he does chill art streams and piano streams the most, especially his piano streams. And he usually does piano streams whenever I'm starting at work. And whenever that is like, whenever I start at work, it's the most busiest part of my work. So I'm like, I needed something to chill on, I needed something to listen to. And Cuny, I call him Cuny, and Cuny doing piano stream while I'm working is the ideal one. Like he yaps from time to time, but he does a good piano stream. Like, oh my god, he's so talented. And he has a good voice too. And I'm like, shit, oh my god, I'm gonna follow this guy. And I've been watching him for quite some time already, and I really support him the most. Like when he's like having collabs and stuff. She's so hooked up. What do you mean? Well, yeah, Kyoshi knows like I like him. I like his voice. Yeah, he has a calming, gentle voice. And also, what the fuck? Like, whenever he says putang ina, it's so crispy. It's so fucking crispy. And I'm like, holy. I like that part of him. Like, whenever he suddenly curses at chat, it's like so crispy. The crispiest putang ina you can ever hear. He always do that to chat, and I'm like, it makes me laugh, and I'm like, okay, this guy is, I like the vibe of this guy. And so like, okay, he released his voice pack yesterday, was it yesterday? Well, I mean, it's already Monday on my end, so he released it yesterday. And he had a stream and had a raffle on it. I'm like, okay. He was like, Nachi, oh my god, welcome to the stream. How was you? It's been so long. So I'm like, whenever I rarely chat on his stream, but I always lurk on his stream. But whenever I chat, I always make sure to call him Cuny and ask for a curse, the crispy curse. I always ask for it. So he was like, okay, we're about to start a raffle. And then I'm like, Yoni, can I join? And he's like, oh, sure, sure, sure. Wait, okay, I put up your name. I put your name. Uh, I wish I could have clipped it. I wish I could have clipped it. But I cannot because I was on phone and on my other on my alt account. I was on my Twitch alt account. And then he was like, okay. There's like a lot of people in that raffle. And when he spin it, I was the one who won it. And like the people in his community are like, why does it always like that? And then they're like, um the right comments that the comments that I hear are in Filipino, so they're like, kung sino pa yung pumasok, yun pa yung nanalo. Like how do I translate that? Like, and then they were like, they were saying like, oh my god, when how do I translate it in English? Fuck. When not when someone like just it's always it's always the latecomer that wins it. It's something like that, I think. Also, that was you. Wait, you were there, Corbin. Oh my god. Ain't no doxing. So yeah, yeah. So yeah. Um I was using my alt account and I'm like, cute. I won. And then he was like, okay, DM me on Discord. Nachi, DM me on Discord. And I'm like, okay, I will DM you, but I was like, on Discord, I'm using my VTuber account already. And I'm like, I DM'd him on his server, and I'm like, Hyun, it's me, it's me. I'm the one that got picked and stuff. And then he was like, so you and Nachi are the same? And then I was like, yeah, you found my hidden identity. And then he's like, okay, fair, bet. Like, I understand, like, and stuff. And then he added me on Discord, so now me and Cutie are friends. Ah, I'm happy. I'm friends with my Oshi, you guys. Oh my god. So like, oh my god. I I went I went to his DMs and I'm like, Cutie, please don't dox me. That was my IRL account. That was my IRL account. Please, no doxing. Then he's like, yeah, I understand. And he was like, I didn't know you were the same person. I'm like, yeah, I was trying not to like dox myself, so that's why I'm not. So I'm like, oh, I'm happy. I'm like, can we chat a little bit from time to time? And he's like, yeah, sure. I'm like, okay. I'm not gonna bother you anymore. Have fun with your stream. I go lurky. So yeah, I'm happy. So okay, I'm gonna stop fangirling. I'm such a big fan of Kyuni. I wish I would have been there on his like meet and greet and stuff. He went on a meet and greet with a lot of like Daijobu VTubers. Daijobu is a known VTuber company here in the not company, a VTuber group here in the Philippines. And Daijobu is known to like host a lot of like meet and greet stuff in terms of VTuber. Like they hosted recently a cafe, a butler cafe type shit last Valentine's, like along with Taiga, with the other bigger VTuber personalities out there. And I'm like, oh, I wish I would have gone there. But yeah. Anyway, I won his voice pack raffle. I got his voice pack. Oh my god. And I heard it, and it was oh my god. Wait, you guys, I gotta like, and also like his voice pack. His voice pack contains wallpapers as well. So, wait, can I? Wait. Well, I mean, I could show it anyway since he told me like I could use it, but I should not share the file itself. So I could share it on stream, but I cannot um I cannot share the file itself, the software, the files, blah 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 blah. Yeah. I told him yes, I'm not gonna share it. Although I got it for free, I'm not gonna share it like the file itself, but I can show it to everyone, right? And then he said, "Yes, it's okay. You can make others listen to it using your phone or or your stream or whatever. But yeah, it's okay. But I will not release the I will not release the voice pack. The I will not let it heard on stream yet because it's kind of spicy. Mm, yeah, yes, good. But I can show you the art. I can show y'all the art. It is so good. Oh my god. He drew this himself too. He drew this himself and I'm so proud of him. Like, oh my goodness. I like Cuny so much. Cuny's just adorable. So here's his art. Oh my god. Cuny, I'm a big fan. Wait, oh my god, it's not okay. Here you go. Here you go. It's Cuny! It's Cuny! I like Cuny. Cuny's so cute. And he drew this himself, like, bro, oh my god, the details, bro, the details. I swear. And he's a purple VTuber too. Yeah. I've been yapping for like an hour almost now. Oh shit! Stream elements already did the timer thing, okay? So yeah, did you know that there are some 7TV emotes that will automatically play a sound when you type it in chat? So you can keep chatting to uncover them. So yes. I've been doing that earlier. I was doing some testing earlier and then Zoro came into my chat while I was still offline. And then he's like, "Oh my goodness." Pikuya konyo content, my eyes. What do you mean? So yeah, I like Cuny. Oh my god, Cuny. Cuny simp. I'm a Cuny simp. Hey. Also, like, he's a big Niji Sanji fan. Niji Sanji and fan. I usually hear him talk about Elira Pentora, Shuya Mino, and stuff. And I'm a Loki Niji fan as well. I'm just not vocal about it because there like some or most of the people in my community are like hating on Nijisanji because of like the company stuff and the VTubing stuff, like what they do to VTubers and stuff. I mean, they have their own controversials, but yeah, I do support some of the Niji VTubers. I'm a big Vox Akuma simp. Hey. I know Vox is very um controversial. That's why I'm not being vocal about it. But I have a friend that is like very Vox voiced, you know. And whenever I hear him talk and whenever I talk to him, I'm like, oh my god, I'm talking to Vox Akuma. Oh my god. Another like oh my god, I also watch yeah, I do like Shuyamino as well, but I do like Luka Kaneshiro as well, though he has a lot like most of the VTubers in Nijien has a lot of controversial stuff anyway. But yeah. That's why I didn't want to talk about it much. But yeah, I'm a Niji fan. I do tune into their content from once in a while. But before I was like a big fan of them. All because of Shoto. Ha! Mamei Nashi, my Kamiyoshi. Shoto. Yes, I like Shoto. Rose, I think your headpats are going on the wrong direction again. But yeah, thank you for the headpats, Rosie. Yes. I also like Hololive, don't worry. Not just because I like Niji Sanji and VTubers doesn't mean I hate the other stuff. So like all in all, these corporations handling VTubers are shit. But yeah. Happy streaming Nachi. Now I have a new teasing material. Oh no! That's great. But yeah, um so yeah, I was like I'm also like watching because of Shoto, just sharing. So just I just want to share this. So because of Shoto, my Kamiyoshi. Shoto, if you don't know Shoto, Shoto by Shoto by Shoto by Shoto. Shoto doesn't have a surname. Well, but recently he revealed it's Makinohara. But no. Okay. I keep getting distracted. But Shoto is like the one that introduced me to VTubing, the VTubing sphere, the VTubers, all of the VTubing rabbit hole, the VTuber rabbit hole, basically. And I discovered Shoto through Valkyrie, the Among Us group like Corpse, Saikuno, Leslie, Janet, all those IRL streamers, Valkyrie, yeah, big huge fan of them. And I knew Shoto because of them because they're friends because Shoto was friends with them. So I'm like when I discovered Shoto, I'm like, holy fuck, this guy has a good voice. And I'm a big simp for like good voiced men. Not really necessarily low voice, but like good voiced men. Like whenever I hear something very soothing to my ears, I'm like, holy shit. You are one good man. I'm like, I'm a simp. I'm a simp for that. But yeah, aside from that, like Shoto was the one that inspired me to do better. Because when I watched this stream, it was so fun. I'm like, what do you mean I can stream without showing my face? What do you mean I can now stream without doxing myself, without showing my real identity to the world, without showing everything that like stuff. I'm like, what? I don't need to be sexy or good looking and like I don't have to like put on the effort for like that because oh my god. And now I'm happy. Like a year after Shoto, I discovered Shoto, I started streaming. I tried to save up for the PC. Although ended up spending twice my budget. That's why I swiped my card. I was happy. I was happy. Overall, I'm getting happier every moment in my day because I'm not able to yap with people like y'all. Oh my god, y'all are so amazing. I really appreciate that you're here listening to me. And it's really important to me that there's there are people that really care for me because I've been in the really rough patch before I met Shoto. So yeah. Um it's been a long ride. Ever since I've been into the VTubing rabbit hole. It's been a long ride. But I was able to move on from a 9-year toxic relationship into healing myself. into prioritizing myself. And it all started because of Shoto. That's why I really, really I like, even though like VTubers like mainly say like that it's not really their not fault. What's the right word? It's not really like they didn't put the effort to make us change. But I'm like, in my opinion, I'm like, when I met Shoto on his last meet and greet here in the Philippines, he was like, I was like, thank you for inspiring me to change my life for the better. Because I did like a full 180. I did a full 180 in my direction because of like the inspiration that I got from him. I was going downwards. I was going downwards. Like, I didn't care about my weight. I didn't care about what I looked. I didn't care what I wanted to do before. All I really cared was like surviving every day, which was not healthy. And because of like when I heard him, when I heard that Shoto is like a big gym rat, you know, he likes gym and he's very buff. He's very buff. I was like, oh my god, I think I should do that for myself as well. I think I should start working out. And I did. I started eating more healthier foods. I started reading a lot of like self-help stuff, like more on mental stuff, like educating myself mentally, how mental health goes and stuff. And it made it made my mind open to a lot of like realizations in life, that what I'm currently in back then was not really like the thing that I wanted for myself. Like, I was hit with one phrase that, imagine your child is experiencing what you're experiencing right now. What do you want to do for them? And I'm like, holy shit, I want to get myself out of this shithole. And I'm like, I started doing a lot, working out, learning new stuff. I started learning how to do finances. I started to learn how to plan for myself. I started to learn VTubing itself. I'm not a techie person, but I managed to learn a lot of VTubing stuff. I I just started researching how OBS works, how the mic works. So yeah, it's slowly, but yeah, I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful because Shoto started it all for me. And I wish like I would be that someone as well, to someone that really needs someone that, like someone that really needs inspiration. Hopefully in the future I would hear something like a story like mine, like, oh, you opened my mind about something. Oh, your story is so inspiring. I started changing for the better as well myself. If I hear those words, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry because it's life changing, honestly. And I met more friends. I'm happy with my friends right now, and I met my core group. I met Papaya's group and the Asylum gang. Oh my god, I love y'all. I met everyone in the Edu's community. It all started there. Like having to talk to other people aside from the ones that are around me IRL. Like, it feels like I'm out of the cage and I was free. I was freed. That's why I thought my model, my OC is a butterfly because butterflies fly. They're beautiful, they're colorful. And of course I'm grateful. Like I'm grateful for what happened. Yeah. Cuz I'm free. I was slowly getting free from everything that shackled me down because I was in the down depths. Although I'm, oh my god, I'm drowning in debt right now, but I'm happy. That's what I can say. I'm drowning in debt. I'm $50,000 in debt right now, but I am happy. Imagine saying that. Oh my god. All because of VTubers. And they say VTubers are toxic. Crazy. But I'm happy. Yeah. We're slowly getting there, you know. Slowly going up. Slowly being happy. And I met my boyfriend right now. I met I met, I met my treasure. My treasure. The one and only, yes. And I'm happy that he's also very supportive of me. Hey. Okay, I've been yapping a lot of stuff. I don't know if I missed anything, but yeah, I just like yapping right now. But yeah, we're gonna do some short games by the way before I get distracted. Yes, we're gonna do some short games. Hydrate. I've been yapping a lot. Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you, Rossi. Ah, I got a bit emotional back there. A little bit of teary-eyed moment, but yeah, I just want to express that. Hopefully one day everyone will be able to be happy with themselves as well. Cuz I've been hearing like some of my friends, some of the people that come to me are like, you know, they come to me and they're like, "Oh, I'm experiencing this. I feel like this and I feel so negative and stuff." And I'm like, "I do hope one day I like it will it will like come to me that you will be just sharing that, oh, I'm happy because this happened. Oh, I'm happy because this." And I'm going to be so proud of them. Like imagine from being so down there, so negative to being positive. It's a big feat. It's a big achievement. All I guess is I'm with you no matter what. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, Lord. You know, I really, really appreciate your support, Zoinks. Honestly, a lot of people have like been um some people have been coming to me regarding like interacting with you and other minors and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I'll just I'll just take this statement, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if this is wrong or this is controversial, but I do believe that some people are more mature than what their current age is. I've met I've met nephews like Zoinks that are like minor. Like Zoinks is 17. He's turning 18 this year. I've met some people, some people in some community. I'm not gonna name drop the others. Some of my nephews are like already 18, 19, 20. But man, Zoinks is more mature than them. I'd say that. That's what I can say. Zoinks is more behaved and more mature than them. And I do believe that he deserves to stay in my stream, at least. In my stream, at least, okay? Because he's mature for his age, I'd say, compared to others. Because I've seen more childish um like that are already 18 plus. He's I'm not like call me biased or whatever, but even if I even if I ban Zoro no Zoro. Not, well actually I'll ban Zoro, no just kidding. Even if I ban Zoinks in my stream, I always say this because even if I ban minors in my stream, they have the freedom to create another account with an identity that I don't know that it was them and start watching me still. And worst comes to worst, they could retaliate. They could retaliate like doing a lot of nasty stuff because they want revenge for banning them on stream. Imagine that. I don't want that to happen just because of their age. Yes, I will ban minors that will be like acting differently in my stream or cannot take anything in my words. Like I know I say a lot of 18 plus words. I say a lot of sex stuff, you know. I joke a lot of sex stuff, you know, green jokes. But man, some people, oh my god, I swear. Some minors can handle it properly. Some minors cannot. They will react. You will hear them react like, "What? Oh my god, how can you say that?" Like all those stuff. I've heard different reactions from minors. And I don't interact with them in another way. Like I just want a casual friendship, you know. And as much as possible, I don't want to like be, you know, more like what's the right word? Not intimate, romantic. No, 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 not those. But I don't honestly. I don't want to be the with a minor. No, no, please. I don't know. I don't want FBI going to my door. Please. I also have a boyfriend. Please, please. I just want to like friendship. You know, if it even if it's not friendship, just the support of someone that is like willing to support me. I would appreciate that. And honestly, I've talked to Zoinks about it as well. Like, yeah, I can't DM you anymore. I am friends with Zoinks on Discord right now, but like ever since like people have been calling me out like, oh, why are you DMing with a minor? I stopped DMing Zoinks. I let him know like, no, I cannot DM you anymore. Even with the other nephews, I also told them as well on DMs like, oh yeah, moving forward, and I cannot DM you anymore. And the that server that I had, the old server that I had, where the minors are in the no, the old the nephews that I knew from one community that I'm in. I told them like, yeah, I'll be leaving this server now. I will be entrusting someone that you trust in your group, whoever you can have the server. I will be leaving this to you, even though it's my server. I will create my own that is 18 plus. And they've been supporting me ever since. Yeah, they don't DM me anymore. Ever since I told them, oh yeah, you're a minor, I cannot interact with you anymore. I put that boundary and they're supporting it. They're respecting it. And even though my stream right now, like I always say, my stream has a rule that is 18 plus. It is of my own will to bend it my way if I want to. So I'm giving like a few what you call this? Pass. It was the right word. I'm sorry. I'm bad with English right now. Um but just saying that it's okay for Zoinks or other nephews that will be like here to support me, just to support me. It's okay. But if I start reacting differently to what I say, or if they make me uncomfy with how I do stuff in the stream, of course they're gonna get banned. They're gonna get their boundary like written in front of them. It will be handed over to them. The boundary will be given to them. But for now, yes. Yes, I do have 18 plus. What I'm very strict is my Discord. I'm very strict with my Discord. No 18 plus. No minors in my Discord. That one I am sure of. I am sure of my Discord because that one has access to some, sassy stuff. And that's also like one of the rules that I've been setting for myself as well. I will be lenient on Discord because Discord is where I am always in touch with. I'm not always on stream. Whenever I stream, it's okay. It's a public space. It's okay for them to be here on my stream. Minors can be here, but they always have to be wary that if they're in my stream, expect 18 plus stuff to whip out of my mouth and the other chatters' mouths and stuff. But it's up to them. If they don't like the content, they can go out. If they're gonna react differently, I will kick them out. I so yeah, that's my take on this stuff because I've been hearing like a lot of stuff about this lately. Like some of my friends uh reaching out to me that they've banned some minors in their streams as well because they came from my stream and stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put my foot down this time. Like, yes, minors can watch my streams, but if they react differently, they're gonna get banned. They cannot join my Discord. They cannot DM me. They cannot interact with me any other way. That's it. Sorry, it's been so serious. The topics are so serious, but yeah, I had to put down the. I had to like say this because it's been bothering me for the past few weeks and days already. I think to know minors can be ticking time bombs to getting canceled. Well, yeah. It's honestly, yeah. It's a big risk. It's a big fine line with like me having like a rule that is 18 plus only on stream, but I can still talk to minors. But I'm I'm like I want to respect the other minors as well in my community as well. I have other nephews, by the way. It's not just Zoinks that I have a lot of nephews. Yep. So yeah. They're very different. But I'm just saying Zoinks is different. Oh my god! Hi, papaya! Oh my god! What the baba? Hi, hello. How are you? How are you? I'm under the water. No, just kidding. How are you? I'm just yapping for now, but I do want to do some, short game after this. Hi! How was gaming? Thank you for the raid, papaya. Hello, 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 hello. The fruity community. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Was cute and fun. Yeah, I was lurking. I saw how like I also watched Coffee play it on stream. I'm like, Coffee, why are you and Papaya streaming the same game? Is this a collab game or something? And he was like, no, I gifted it to Papaya, and then he played it. I'm like, but it's so cute. It's so cute. It's so cute. It's so cute. It's a fun game, honestly. I'm glad you had fun with it. So yeah, hello. Okay, let me do my intro for a bit. So hello, Papayas community. I'm Natsi Kulanashi. I'm a vampire butterfly VTuber. I'm usually doing a lot of gun gaming stuff, go more of gamings, but yeah, I do sing from time to time, and also I do some variety stuff as well. And currently, I have a donathon ongoing for my home electrical rewiring. So, if you have some extra stuff that you can share, yeah, feel free to. And if you want to, yes, I would really appreciate it. And you have donor incentives because of that. Okay, so those from Papaya stream, please take care of yourself. Just make sure you do some hydrating action going, and make sure to get some rest or get some snackies. Okay, rest very important, and snackies also very important. Make your tummy happy. And if you got a raid and dash, that's totally okay. Yes, papaya. So papaya is a very adorable stanky papaya. I we love the papaya though. Yeah, even though he's stanky and he burns the even though he burns Billion's office, it's okay. We love papaya as he is. So just shouting out the papaya. Don't forget to follow the papaya, okay? You guys? What? No, oh, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that, but yeah. Yeah. Thank you again for the raid. Welcome to my community. I've been yapping for quite some time already. I've just been yapping and like sharing a lot of stuff about myself and addressing some issues here and there. But yeah. I hope y'all had the fun with the papaya stream. But now we're gonna hop in for another game. Yeah. We're gonna game short game. I'm thinking horror though. But yeah, welcome. Good night, fire as well. Good night, fire. I'm sorry, I was too busy yapping a lot, and yeah, Rosie. I really appreciate that Rosie is still here. I love you, Rosie. You're so cute. Mwah. I love I love the papaya. Mwah. We love everyone in the community. Yes, I love my friends. Yes. Starting to the papaya. I'm very. I was talking about earlier. I was happy. I was telling everyone earlier that I'm happy that I was able to meet papaya, and I was able to. No, Kirby. Oh my god, it's been so long. So I was telling her earlier that I was glad that when I met my core group, I met Papaya through them, and because of Papaya, I met the other people as well in in the friend group. Like I met the Nicola, my wives. I had a lot of wives because of Papaya. At first it was just like Yuki, my wafu. Now it's just now it's more. There's more now. There's more now. I have more waifus now, and I have more friends now because Papaya just dragged me into this collab, and I'm like, oh my god, I like these people. I like these people. I play more with them. Yes. Thank you for that papaya. Yeah, genuinely, thank you for letting me like sharing me your friends and stuff, your friend groups. I'm really grateful, and and also very thankful to everyone in that friend group for accepting me. I'm the new baby in the group, but I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm a happy, big happy. Love to have met you. Aww, papaya, don't make me cry. I was crying earlier. So. Hi, Miss. Oh my God, we're still awake. Good morning. I mean, good evening. Well, hello, hello. If you're gonna go sleep, yes, papaya. If you need to like rest up, you've been doing a good long stream too. Good job today. I'm big proud of you. Yes, I'm big proud of everyone in my community as well. Y'all, I can see how everyone is like growing in this community, and I'm really happy for everyone to be growing and just being happy for themselves, because that's what I'm trying to strive for as well, to being happy as myself. Yeah, technically morning is 4:26. Bro, miss, don't you have like something to go for today or something? It's Monday, by the way. Imagine being part of a harem. Yeah, I know, right? I didn't even imagine that I will have a lot of wives ever since I met Papaya in the group. I wouldn't even imagine myself being a detective under Boss Billion's organization, you know. I just got hired recently. I'm part of the organization now. Papaya is still out of the organization, I think. Yeah. Jobless life. Oh boy. But if you need to sleep, miss, feel free to. You can lurk and stuff, okay? But I was happy you were there in Edu's stream though. I missed Edu. Oh my god. I'm in Ramadan. I have my coffee at night, so I sleep in the morning. Oh wait. Oh, you're. Oh my god. Yeah. Ramadan is ongoing. Oh my god. I feel you, bro. Oh my god. And I'm sticking by that. Yeah, everyone's sticking by that. Papaya's not allowed in the organization anymore because he burned boss's HR files. Not gonna lie, I don't remember how I met anyone here. I feel like just Batatamasaurus and Setanya mo just have. I can't read that. I can't read Set's name. Setanya Nyomasaurus just dragged me around and I met people. Aww. So it's Bat and Set that made you meet everyone. For me, it's Papaya and Zoro. Yeah, for me it's Papaya and Zoro. So even though they're both stanky, I'm very grateful for their stankiness, because their stankiness made me meet a lot of people that I like. Yeah. I felt uneasy in her stream. I don't know if it's just me. Wait, what happened, Zoinks? Oh, is it the late one, the last one? Yeah, I kind of felt uneasy as well because of there was someone following her in the dark. I'm like so crazy. Have a good lurk. Keep a papaya. Please do have your after stream care, okay? Loves you, stanky. Mwah. HR room and important documents, no sympathy. Indeed! Indeed! We cannot allow the papaya in the organization anymore. We haven't recovered from that arson yet. Yeah, that's true. No, no, you stank! Don't, this stinky potato. I know I wasn't the only one. Yeah, like, honestly, she should have just, like, continued stream, honestly. So, the stream will be, like, her proof of, like, in case something, yeah, that was happening. At least she was back to messaging, so she's okay. Yeah. I'm glad that she was able to get home fine. All right. To those that came from Papaya stream, yeah, a little bit of updates. If you can see, or if you've been to my stream before, I updated my overlay for the. If you can see it on the top right, yeah, that top right, the top right. I updated the overlay for the likes, the subscribers, and the donators. It's cute, though, right? It's cute, right? It's cute, right? Do you want to see the bigger? I could adjust it a little bit so you could see how it looks like. Hold on. It's kind of small right now, but I could like make it a bit bigger for now, and I could just show you what it looks like. Here you go. The first one is heart because that's the follows. The second is subscriber, that's why it's a star, and the third is the dono, that's why it has the dollar sign. Yes. Wait, can I? Oh shit! Oh shit! I can't. Oh my god! Okay, okay. Okay, I think this is the right one. Okay, I'll just lock it again before I move it again. New overlay, yes, that's the one I've been doing earlier while you were on my chat. Also, like, yes, I also added a couple of like stuff in the sounds. Like, did you know that I have certain like a few 7TV emotes that triggers a sound if you chat it. So one of the an example of that is the ha ha ha. It should play so let me type a ha ha ha. It doesn't no. Why is not playing? No. It's not playing. Oh, I didn't save it. That's why. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was a scuff. That was a scuff. But like for example, you type you type deviews. If you type deviews, I mean if you use the deviews 7TV mode, yeah, that one it will play snowballs recording of doing the and also like the like classic if you just type huh the huh cat 7TV emote, yes. It will play the huh cat huh. And if you type just bruh, it'll play bruh. Yeah, imagine. So I have lots more in store. I'm not gonna show you everything. It's up to everyone how they want to unlock it. How do they discover it? You keep chatting. Yes. You will unlock some words eventually. And most of it are like connected to 7TV emotes. So if you have 7TV, please try and use it more. It's a fun free emotes.
Get glued.
A get glueder, yes. It's a fun 7TV is a very fun emote extension because Twitch emotes are very limited for me right now. Like there's only a few emotes you could use for free, and also when you're subscribed, even though I have a lot that I want to add for emotes, but 7TV covers it. Like it really covers it. Really helps, especially if you're just using if you're in browser. Yes, it's so good. And also, did you know that with 7TV you can farm points without really watching actively? You don't have to click that, that icon on the points when you gain it. Yeah, 7TV helps with that. Auto claim. No, no, sniffer. No, 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 no. Not through the insider knowledge. Yes. Oh, you could also add it for usual. Wait, I think Rosie has it. But the others, I've seen some of the other streamer friends that I have that don't have 7TV, and I'm like, you're missing a lot, bro. You're missing a lot. 7TV is so good, and you can pair it with mix it up to play some sounds when someone chats it. Imagine, right? Imagine. That's so good, right? The things I do for VTubing. I hope I'm making y'all happy though with the things I do. Yeah. Okay. Let's hop on to the. Wait. What? Oh yeah, I added a new 7TV emote, the one with the I don't know why it didn't appear on my end though. Like I have that ha 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 emote on 7TV that shows my model doing that pointy ha ha ha. Is I probably didn't configure the sound uh well earlier because I was in a rush. But I'll fix it. It should play a sound. Should play a ha sound. Should play this, I think. Was it this? Yeah, that one. It should play that one because it was my emote was doing that certain emote as well. The ha emote. It's funny. I don't know, it's funny for me. Okay, okay. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go to the gaming channel. The gaming scene. Okay. I'm done with the tea sharing anyway, so also let me okay, okay. I hid my vampire wings and butterfly wings, I mean. I hide it. I hide it. Um wait, okay. I'm loading my stuff. Hold on, hold on. So we will be playing a short game called Rubbish. Rubbish. It's a very very like British British inspired game, I guess. Because rubbish. Who uses rubbish? I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. My British friends will be like, bruh, why? What did we do to you? But yeah, I'm gonna play a game called Rubbish.
Bruh.
Bruh. I'm sorry. Wait, does it have a set game? Hold on. Rubbish. Oh yeah, it does have a thing. I think. Am I putting the right I mean I don't know if I'm putting the right game though, but the name is Rubbish. Okay, game capture Rubbish. Should show. It should show. Is it showing? It's showing. Okay, okay, nice. Okay, let me adjust it on the OBS real quick. It's not showing properly. Oh shit. Okay. A little bit more, a little bit more. Okay. Does it fit properly? No extras. Okay, nice. So we're doing Rubbish. We're gonna play Rubbish. So I don't know what this does honestly. What is this game? It doesn't even explain anything. Wait, let me just setting. It's just set up and exit the game. What? What is this? Object shredder. Then you can crush? What about this? Garbage compressor. Oh, okay, okay. What do I do now? Honestly, huh? Honestly, what does this game do? But yeah, we're just gonna try and chill and then just learn the game, I guess. Learning the game when I don't know what the controls are. There's a timer though. What does the timer do? Inventory. View the market. What? Is it just a timer? Huh? How do I control this shit? Do I need a controller for this? Are you, huh? Are you serious? I do have a controller right now, but do I have to configure it? Hold on, let me go to the Steam page. Rubbish. Rubbish. Okay. Welcome to this strategy game where you combine these garbage in the most reasonable way you think, and there will always be unexpected rewards. Mysterious and brand new fun awaits. What? Oh! You don't need to operate it yourself. You just hand it over to the work machines. You just need to wait for the machine to find garbage. So, oh my god, I swear. So it's a waiting game. I have to wait for the timer. Oh man. That sucks. I thought I would be able to do something with this game. Anyway, I guess we're not gonna do rubbish anymore. This game sucks. I didn't know. I was expecting a short game. Well, it really is short. Like, imagine. Shortest game ever. Alt F4. Okay, what's next? What's next? Um. Okay. Oh my god. We might do a horror game instead. Okay, we will be playing Sunday School. Okay, it's an indie horror game. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry with this. Oh my god. Okay, Sunday School. Does it show? Please tell me it shows. Oh, it's... Can it be? Can it be in not in full screen, please? I'm gonna cry. Can it not be in full screen, please? Please. What's the code again for not... Hold on. How do I do that again on Steam? Like forcing it to... Hold on. How do I force it to open on Steam for like... Sunday School. Sunday School. QRS. Sunday School. Properties? Oh, yeah, the launch options. Okay. Okay, let me just... Excuse me. I've been yapping for quite some time. That's why I had a burp. Command line to make note. So windowed, and then hold on, let me just... Oh my god, that is a very crispy sound. Ew. Oh my god. This windowed, I remember I put something on like a certain wait, can I do that instead? Hold on. Okay, let me do this. If I open Sunday school now, should it open in? It opened in window finally. No! No! Why? It doesn't open in window. Hold on. Can I force it? Force a solution. There we go. Okay, let's try this one. My god. This is so scuffed. Please tell me. No, it's still. Can I just. I can't even, bruh. Can I just play the game and windowed? Just please. I'm gonna be so. Oh. Properties. I already put it on window though. I don't want to play it in. Okay. Last one, and then I might play it in full screen, but if it makes me dizzy or if it triggers my motion sickness, I'm gonna stop playing it. Not because I'm scared, but I don't want to risk puking on stream. I swear. Okay, fine. And it's not appearing on game capture too. Hold on. Does it show now? No, still not. What? It's not even showing. The sounds are there. Is it showing though? Ah, the struggles of streaming in just one monitor. I swear. Why? Please work. Can I just check on my. Wait, let me check on my phone though. This and then this. It's not showing. I don't know why. Huh. What can I do aside from this? It's not even showing on stream. So I guess not Sunday school. It's not letting me. What about the room? Is the room good? Either that or Dark Deception. I can do Dark Deception. I'm gonna say I managed to mute before sneezing. Hell yeah. Yeah. Oh, this one. Okay, okay. Let's try this one. Shady Part of Me. Oh, please. Please let it have a window mode. No sneeze ASMR. But no, no, no. I will blast your ears. I sneeze a bit louder. Settings. Enter. Okay. Graphics. Full screen. No. Resolution. Okay, let's have it this one. Is there something bigger? No, only this one. Okay. Finally, a game. Oh my god. Where's my loud pipino auntie sneeze ASMR? That's good. No. Later, if I sneeze again, I might. If I forget to mute my mic, yeah. Shady Part of Me. Okay, okay. Okay, we're gonna play Shady Part of Me. Okay, okay. Okay. Welcome everyone. This is my, this is my first short game of the stream after like 2 hours of yapping and scuff. But yeah, welcome, 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 welcome. Okay, let's start. Continuing. Oh wait. What's the Can I use my controller? Oh man, my controller. Oh, it's not on. Okay, there we go. Is it on? No. Keyboard. LWA is the action for E, jump for space, rewind. There's a rewind and a restart. Okay. Looks like we're gonna cry with this. Okay. Oh, I don't want that blasting into my ear. Okay. I will have to shush. Okay. Shushing the stream. Nice. This and then this. Okay, there we go. There we go. And then the game. Okay. Okay. It's kind of getting hot now. So before I start the game, I'll turn on the AC. Hold on. Okay, okay. I'll turn on the AC. I'll get some more water. I'm out of water. That was my last gulp of water. I'll get some water. You know what? Let's take a break. I haven't even started the game. I'm taking a break. I will do a 3-minute break, okay? 3 minutes of pee. I'll get a water. I'll turn on the AC. I'll find Noggy. I can't find Noggy in the room. I don't know where Noggy is, so I'll find my dog. Bring him into the room. Bring her into the room, I mean. So yeah. BRB you guys. BRB you guys. Okay, okay? I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll put some sounds for y'all. Have fun. Hey, I'm back. All right. Just in time. Hell yeah. So, how is everyone doing so far? Hmm. Yes. Are we ready? Yes, we're gaming. Shady Part of Me. Did it change the status? Oh, yeah, I did. Okay. We're doing well so far, hopefully. Okay. There we go. All right. Welcome back. Okay, thank you, Hazy. Okay, let's play the game. Continue? Why continue? I haven't even started it. Prologue, The Swing, session number 1. Oh, we're swing? Oh, what? What? I want to go back to the swing. Oh, I could reverse stuff. Oh, that's how it goes. Hold to restart from last checkpoint. Okay. And oh, T. Okay. Oh, that's nice. This do. Anything in here that I need to know? Okay. I'm back from Linden. Welcome back, Zoinks. What was for Linden? See you soon. Bye. Okay. See you soon, it says. The controls are ERT space and the was D. I liked it better. What did you like better? When I was on the swing. Really? Why? Aw, with someone to push me. Okay. Oh, tap tap. Oh, there's like tap 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 tap. Fish, crab cakes, collages, and lamb liver. Oh my god, that sounded so yum though. I haven't. What's collages? That's the first time I've heard collages. What's collages? Yeah. And those are fresh probably because you like you do farming and stuff, right? What's this? And oh, I unlocked something. Oh, I knew it. It's a puzzle. I liked it better. How do I go up there? Oh, okay. Okay. When I was on the ground. Yeah. Wee. Hi, bird. With no one to push me. When no one try. What do I try? Hmm. A European pastry. Luckily, a place here in the US can cook some good collages. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, that sounds so yum, though. I was here again and again. What's down here? There is a bird there. Okay, okay. Typically made with fruit and cheese. With fruits? Oh, that sounds so nice. I would want to take and try it again. Okay, okay. Oh, save point. This is probably a save point. Yeah. Um. No. Hold R to rewind. Okay. Many attempts. Okay. Like a a soft dough around. I'm sorry, I wasn't looking. Soft dough around and fruit jelly in the middle and cheese mixed in. Oh my god, it sounds like, we have like a dessert here in the Philippines that is a fruit salad. We call it a fruit salad, and it's made of fruits and cheese and cream mixed. And you put that in a dough is, oh my god. It sounds nice. Many, 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 many things. Okay. Oh, you can always rewind, hold R. Wee. You can do it. Do it. Just do it. Maybe they were right. Sounds yum yum. What are we gaming? Yeah, it is yum. It's a dessert. What are we gaming? This is Shady Part of Me. So I don't know what else can we do with this because we just started. This is just the epilogue. Oh, I can see something down there. Oh, we're on the ground now. So we were on the walls before. Oh, it's shady. So it means, wait, can we see something here? Stupid. Okay. So we're on the shadows. And we're trying to move into the area. Is that the naughty? Hi, Bat. Is that the Bat? How are you? Good morning. Oh, wait. Good morning. No, good evening. Are you at work today, Bat? Oh my god. Be safe. Stay hydrated. What pushed me forward? Oh no. Wait. It's a fear. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's time. Oh my god. Of them. Fear of them. What? Of me. Fear. No! Oh my god. Okay. We still got it. Day after day. Oh my goodness. Nice. That's nice. So, are you streaming today? Yes, the Rosie is here. That's true. We Shady part of me. Can I go back? Just rewind that shit, bro. Oh. Oh, that was okay. That was part 1. So this is part 2. Now this looks kind of 3D now. A silly bat spotted. Yes. Nope, it's a full chill today. Okay, nice. Okay, when I wake up, a long dream, a good dream. Can I interact? Closed like always. Okay. Can I take my teddy bear, please? Glad you're chilling today, Bat. We could. Oh my god. Are you still hiding? Well, what are we hiding? Save. 4 out of 90. Can we even, find all of those pieces? Oh, we can't go to the light. But why? We like the shade. Noggy! No, what do you need? Oh my god, this dog.
Back then I had to hide in the shadows.
Empty, empty. Noggy, what do you need? Oh my god, my dog is being so clingy today. Why now? I'm streaming, baby. Did you sleep well? I kind of don't hear the music though, honestly. Hold on. Okay. I just hope it doesn't like suddenly jump scare me out of nowhere. Where's the voice language for English, German, oh my god, Chinese, French, Spanish. Okay. Language. Oh, okay. Italian, Deutsch, Espanol, Brazil, Polski. This is probably Russian. Oh, there's a lot of languages though. But the voice is only for a few dubs. Show subtitles, yes. I do want to play it with controller though. Man, I wish I could like use my controller here. Can I use my controller?
Lizard, lizard,
Lizard, lizard, lizard, lizard, lizard, lizard, lizard, lizard. Nuggy time, yes. Nuggy's beside me right now. If you could hear her bell in her collar, yeah. This is a Nuggy. He's being clingy right now. I don't know why. What do you need, baby? Baby dog? Baby dog? Nah. Nuggy! Anong kailangan po? She just nudged my hand when I asked what she needs. Ano pong kailangan? Okay, you go pee, you go pee. She was really peeing, okay? She wanted to pee. That's why she wanted my attention. Okay. Okay. Not peeing? Good. It's so good. Alrighty. We are back. Put my controller on the side. Hell yeah. Okay.
The light was dangerous.
The light was dangerous, yes. Oh, you can still rewind here. Okay, nice. I had a great dream where I was safe in the shadows because there was no light there. Oh. No. Oh my god. Okay. Still afraid of the light. How do we crouch? No crouch, I guess. No. Okay, okay. You have to rewind when we gotta do something, okay. There's someone outside? Oh, someone was in the swing. Okay. Oh, this is a big one. Okay. Wait. No, I didn't mean to rewind that shit. Safe, unsafe. Okay. Always distracted, absent-minded, inattentive. That's me. The door is closed. But why is it closed? Open the door! Open the door! Open the door! Hold on. Uh, okay. Here we go. My hair. Gotta tie it properly. Okay, there we go. Continue. Can I pick the skull? Why is there a skull here? Good effort. Scary lights. Words, more words. Mean words. Oh, there's a... Oh boy. No! Okay. Still weak. Keep going. Okay. Let's try going here. There's also a puzzle there. Okay. They will see, they will say. They will try. Okay. They will talk. Okay. It's too bright outside. Don't be sad, statue man. I'd rather stay in the shadows. Okay, before we go there, I think I missed something as well here. Let me do something real. Let me go back there. Lizard, lizard. Yeah, there's someone on that swing. Oh, I can't go back anymore? Bruh, that's crazy. Fine. Okay, we've unlocked this anyway. Okay, what about here? Oh,
I'm sad too. All on my own.
I'm sad too. Oh, it's dark here now. Why do I feel like...
Waiting.
Fuck! Who is that? Monster?
They were looking. They were probably judging all the time. How innocent. Naive. Limited.
That's creepy.
Stubborn.
Stubborn. Oh, is that the boss? Miss Minchin.
And very, 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 very alone.
Can I go back there? Probably judging. Oh, I come back? What? Oh, that's nice. You morph. Oh my god, that's the first time I saw this. Okay. Thank goodness I went back. I would have missed the puzzle there.
Huh?
Okay. Nice. Probably judging. What about here? Oh, we can go here. Because there's nothing there. Okay. Got it. Nice. Press tab to switch characters. Tab? Hold on. Before I go to that circle. Okay, I guess there's nothing to do except that. I got the origamis in the introduction. Nice. There she is. Oh, it's Ass on the... Oh my god. And we press tab to go back. Oh. Press E.
Who are you?
Oh, who are you? Okay, tab. And then we go... And we press
I'm
E
the one
here.
looking for the exit.
I'm the one looking for the exit. Okay. Oh my god. Oh, nice. So the other one helps us with the shade. We help the shade go through the obstacles as well. Okay. Oh, kind of like this. Oh, I have to put them both there. Nagi, what do you want this time? What? What? What do you want this time? Anong kailangan? Huh? Hindi po. Oh my god, this dog. Oh, it will only continue with the two of us. Nice. Oh. Oh, nice. Then we continue next. Oh, we can't continue there. So put it up again, I guess. Yep. And we put it here. And this one. Yep. And jump. And we go there. Nice. Okay. So we are very far away now.
I might be able to get out this time. As long as I follow, maybe I'll be okay.
Where did she go?
It's been a long time.
No! Oh, okay. So we hide here. And we hide here. Okay. Okay. Nice. Guide her, lead her, take her.
Hey, follow me.
Hey, follow me. Nice. Okay, this one. Oh. How do I get that? Okay, I believe I should. Okay. Tab.
Come on.
Oh! Oh, shit. Okay. No, put her up again! Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna time it properly. No! How? It's not enough. It's not enough, I swear. What if? No, that's wrong. Wait, what if I put her on the corner? Yeah, that way. And then... Come on, make it! No! I almost got it. No. Too early. No, too early again. No, that's not enough time. Should I just tab and then jump? Oh, that's a possibility. Yeah. What if I do that? Okay, I'll go on this end, I guess. Yeah, just normal. And then... no! Ah, stupid. No! Oh my god! You just have to tab immediately. Stupid! Okay, we got it. Finally. Oh my god, I'm bad with puzzles, man. I'm bad with puzzles. Okay, we got this. Focused, alert, attentive. Okay. The bird is there. I guess we're not... You're doing great. How am I doing great with that, bro? Oh, nice. Oh, we'll just wait for the other person now. Oh, no. Okay. Yay! Yay! Okay. Nice. Pretty books with marvelous stories. Okay. Damn! Out of 98? Oh my god, who is this? Hey, have you seen my new friend? Oh, hi! Oh, hi! Oh, hi!
Come on, you can do it.
Oh, this time it's books tell prettier stories. I chose to trust books. Do not confuse books with reality. Okay. Oh, okay. My bad. Should be tab. I keep doing alt tab instead. Me when I'm stupid. Oh. No! Stupid. Okay, there we go. Nice. Okay, just have to tap, hold E, and then push. Alright. Yeah. In dreams, sky is the limit. Yeah. Oh no, we're separating again. I don't care, I want to have fun. Nice. I keep on alt tabbing.
Just a bit more.
I got you. Oh my god. We got launched to space. What the? Oh. So where are we?
Hello, Teddy.
Hello today. Teddy friend. Aww. Oh, I don't like that sound.
Hello, train.
Fantasy. Okay. I believe we are going to need to go for the train. Fuck! I alt-tabbed again. Oh, I see. We are the train. Okay. Okay. Oh. Oh, okay. The puzzles are a bit complicated now, I guess. Oh boy. Okay. How do I get that? I want to get the... Wait, can I? I can? Guess I have to do this. Feels familiar yet also distant. It feels similar yet also absent. I guess I have to go here first. Now I can get it. How do I get it though? I wanna get that. Is there something that I can push? Rail? Can I push something here? Can I turn off the flashlight? I wanna get it.
Hang in there, Moon.
Hang in there, Moon.
Hey, doggy.
Hey, doggy. It goes around? Oh no, I can't go back? Because of it? No, but the... Can I push it back? No? Let me in! Fuck. Oh, I'm bad with puzzles, man.
Hello, train.
I don't get what I'm supposed to do. Also, there's like a bird there, so. Wait, is my shadow? Keep on. Fuck. My shadow be a help? I can't. How do I? You can't take it out there. No? Oh, okay, got it. Should be able to get up. Okay, nice. And then I'll make it big. So I can finally get the bird. Yay! Remember. Okay, I will remember that. What I didn't got what the bird from the last one I didn't. I missed. Okay, who are you? I hope you're not an enemy or something, right? Can I get crushed under this shit? No, I can't. Where is the bird? Probably the bird is in the story. Okay. Okay.
Come on, climb on.
Okay, I climb. And then I pull. Nice. Yeah, kinda stupid of me to do that, but there's no board on this one? Okay. Unless there's a bird here that I didn't know. Nothing. Okay. Hmm. All these things look different. Has this place changed? I don't know. A bird. Oh, okay. Here we go again. Nah, nothing's changed. I see. Probably needs to make this one smaller. Or oh, okay. Can we use this as a leverage? No? I tried. Then maybe I just have to switch it with another box. Okay. No. Okay. too much. I can't go up there. Okay. Uh, okay. Okay. All for the greediness, cause why not, right? Then I have to go here. Make it big. And then put me there. Easy. Nice. Oh my god. Oh, it's a limited time. Fix this myself. Did you hear the news about K-pop Demon Hunters too? Wait, really? Did it have? Oh my god, when? Oh my god, when? I would love to. Honestly, oh, by the way, I have a movie night. I have a K-pop Demon Hunters movie night tomorrow on Discord. On Twitter. Oh, that's the first time I've heard of it. Nice. I want that. I want that.
Mister, ma'am, my lord short arms.
My lord, short arms. Can he drink with no arms? It's crazy. On Twitter. Okay. Oh boy. We gotta find a way to save her first. Hmm.
Star,
Star.
cloud.
Cloud.
It's free real estate.
It's free real estate. No, fuck you, Zara. Why are you free real estating me? How do I get that without dying? Can I use my character to get it? Like, is it here? Like, bruh. No? Oh! Stupid me.
Woohoo!
Follow gentle, nice. Okay, here we go. Okay. No, fuck you. And they won an Oscar too. Oh, nice. Oh, we're bringing her here. Nice. And moon. Pretty light so far away. That's nice. They won an Oscar. Well, honestly, it's well deserved. The song is like a big hit. Oh, this time we're gonna move it. Ooh, nice. Smaller. Oh my god. Oh, okay. I have to check something real quick. Okay. There was a bird there. I know it. It's broken. Now we gotta watch the second one when it releases. Honestly, I agree. This wrong. Stupid. There we go. There we go. And there we go. Nice. Now here we go on this one. Here, bridges, I build them myself. How is that cute, bruh? Okay, we're gonna suffer on the shade part. Cute brumbles, I cut them myself. What? Time to suffer. No! This one is safe. No! No! Ah! I made it! Yes! Nice. Oh my god. Oh, this is easy. I need to get out of here. Yep. Nice. Oh my god. What does this do? Oh, okay. Come on. We have to go there. We leave here. And then... Oh shit! Can we... Okay. No. Will it kill us? Oh, it does. Stupid. What if? What if? I have an idea. Hmm. Oh. Oh! I finally got it. Stupid me. Okay. No. Okay. Put it a little bit to this way, I guess. Oh shit. Missed it. Nice. Oh my god, finally. Improvised. Now I need it. Nice. Okay. Now we can go through.
Mind the train.
Oh boy. Here we go again. I'll build it again. No! Stupid. Okay. Okay. This one's easy. Okay. Ad break. Okay, I will wait for y'all. So while we're waiting in the ad break, how is everyone so far? Let me hydrate as well. And on shrimp. Ow. Okay. Oh, by the way, I bought a U-shaped pillow for my neck. I bought a neck pillow. In case like I fell asleep on stream, I have a neck pillow. But yeah. Anyway, I might have to end stream in like an hour because I want more sleep. Honestly, that's it. I just want more sleep. Oh my god, this neck pillow is so good. It's so comfy. I might sleep. Did I just hear that correctly? What? I want more sleep. Yeah, I plan to sleep on like 12 noon in my time. So when I wake up at around 8 p.m., I have 8 hours. And also I get to continue my streak of good sleep. So the 7 I had 7 hours of sleep today, and I asked Shatsi I mean I asked my Pookie about like if that counts as good sleep, and I said yes, it counts. With your streak, you are on your third day of good sleep. And I'm like, yay. He's like, continue that. In 1 week I will reward you. I'm like, yes. I'm such a baby. He said like, yeah, continue it for 1 week and I'll be happy. So yeah, I'm gonna try and sleep today around 12 p.m. my time. So it's gonna be, that is like 2 hours from now. So I plan to end stream in 1 hour. So I still have like an hour of free time to myself and just, chill. Do some after stream decompressing and stuff. I might do some Battlefield stuff, or I might continue the one that I've been cooking on the side for quite some time. Yeah. But yeah, the one that I've been cooking, by the way, is for mostly Discord, but it will also affect something on the stream as well. Oh, also I'm kind of like leaning into like updating a little bit of my Donoton stuff. But we'll see. We will see. Okay, everyone's back from the ads. Welcome back. Okay, time to go back to the gaming. Yeah. No! Yay! Oh my god, I did it in one run. Doesn't continue here? Okay. I believe this one goes up. Okay, I knew it. Nice. Try harder. I imagine I could improvise. Yes. Okay, let's go to the other one. Oh my god, we're so far. And again. Run! No, oh my god. Okay, I gotta time it properly. Just run! Hide. No, I didn't make it in time. Fuck. One more. Come on. Oh my god. Oh my god, I keep getting delayed by that little bit of area to run. Come on! No! Why do you run so slow, man? Oh, it's always that corner. Let's do it one more time. Okay. This and this. Oh my god! Okay. Run! Hide! Okay. One more. Run and hide. Okay. Okay, I believe we're kinda safe here. Kinda. Just a little bit more. Okay, nice. We're safe
This
now.
is my playground. I thought you want to play with me.
Listen. Listen to what? Atom. Okay. Let me just take a few bites of the oatmeal that I have still. This oatmeal is on my face. It's in front of me for like a couple of hours already. I still haven't finished it. It's just a small bowl. It's fucking cold already. Okay, back. What is this? Why is there a toy there?
Go forward.
Oh, okay. Go forward. Still following. That adds to the mechanism. Okay, no wonder there's a doll there. Okay, got it.
Close it.
Oh! Nothing on the back of there? Okay. Wing it? How? We're stuck here. Oh. Oh, okay. Got it. I tried to follow, not to rush her. Following is the way to the exit. Okay. Step by step. Okay. We're done here. I don't see any birdie yet. So
Stop
far.
watching.
Stop watching. Why are you... Oh. Is that an enemy? Step by step. Okay. Okay. It changes perspectives. Okay. Where did everything go? The escape. Oh! He's back here. Oh, that's nice. Nothing has really changed. Only your
We
perception.
could leave if you don't like it here. Do you know where the exit is?
I think I do.
Oh, Oh, okay. Then this one is permanent. Nice. Hello, ring ring. Okay. Aw, she's doing a curtsy. Oh, that's so cute. This way. Hold on, let's make her catch up first. So we're probably gonna be... What's the options? Okay, I knew it. Oh. Oh, okay, got it. There's an area there that makes it small. Then I make it... Wait, is there a secret there? No, just imagining things. Okay. And then I go here. Okay, I pull. I can go through. Wait. Nice. Where did she go? Here? Wait, hold on. I knew it. There's a method. Uh-oh. Why are you there? Oh. Oh, this one to
The
go.
exit should be around here.
No! Oh, I didn't know that.
Be around here.
Okay. Okay, nice.
Just around that corner.
Just around that corner.
I'm pretty sure the exit is this way.
It's kind of nice.
Nice
So
how everything is so carefully labeled.
carefully labeled.
There you go.
Nice. Thank you. Why do I feel like I should? Aha, I knew it. Okay. Oh my god, someone is hanging there. Aw. Exit. Okay. This one goes here. Okay. And then I believe we need this to go through. Okay. Yep. Yep.
I'm sorry there's less to see here. It's better with my friends.
I'm sorry, I can't help
Are your
you.
friends gone?
Just for a bit. They don't like it here.
I don't like it here. Am I a friend as well? Please say yes. Okay. Oh shit. Okay. Okay. This one. No, that changes things. Wee, nice. Got him. I don't know what this does to. Can I? Okay. I noticed this feeling so vividly, so deeply. It runs within and overflows without me being able to stop it. A memory. Oh.
Hey, say, am I a friend?
Wait. Ha ha ha, I knew it. Mind the gap. Okay. Now we gotta go down.
Hey, say, am I a friend as well?
Yeah?
Of course. You're my best friend.
You're my best friend. Now we go down. Oh my god, that is a very intricate puzzle. Don't tell me we're gonna go all the way down there. It's crazy. Is that why this is 98? It's crazy. I might not be able to finish this game immediately. I thought it's a short game. 20 over 98. That's crazy. Okay. This? Okay. I can't let her die?
Come in.
Come in. Hear the other for the first time. What? Me and the other auntie had a good discussion last night about growing as a community. Should have mentioned this earlier. Whoa, what? What happened? What did she talk about? What did she say? Did she be growing a lot because of connections? Yeah, honestly, that's nice. It's part of growing the community. You have to expand your connections. And it's not bad to do that. Alright, so we're going. Oh! Okay. Okay. No. Yes, this one. Okay. My way date Follow my way, the idea, the method. And I brought up the same case with you. So how did she react to it? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. She started streaming because she wanted to meet new people, because she works from home and doesn't get to go out much. Yeah. No! There we go. Honestly, yeah. Like, same here. I don't get to go out much because of work.
Go on.
And she started out small, and once she met new people and built connections, it started growing. Yeah. Honestly, that's like basic streaming stuff, I guess. You get to grow as long as you keep on connecting with people. Not always collabing, but I mean, yeah, I did grow through collabing with a lot of people. But at the same time, yeah, like expanding out really helps you grow your horizons and stuff. Hold on. What does this do? Oh. Okay. No! I didn't mean to do that. Stupid. Oh, I made it just barely. Okay. And then I push her a little bit. Is that even possible? No! Oh, okay. Got it. Oh! I didn't notice that. No! This murder. Ah! I shouldn't let her stand there. Okay, nice. One time someone gifted her 500 roses and said the good person didn't have to. How do I do this without this is so tricky. I wanna get that. Wanna get the fucking bird, man. Let me get the bird. The good person didn't have to. Still playing marathon. Okay. Honestly, that's my thoughts as well with like people in like not with TikTok or Twitch when they gift subs or bits or gifts in TikTok. I'm okay with accepting gifts from those. But in terms of games though, like accepting games, it's kind of like giving me that feeling as well, like, oh, you didn't have to gift me the game, like I could buy it if I want to. Yeah, like although my friends just want to like, you know, just vibe and hang out with that game, I kind of still like a bit feel a bit bad, like, oh yeah, I could have just like bought it. But yeah. 500 roses is big though. That's 500 points. And 500 points is like the equivalent of in TikTok that's the money gun, I think. Yeah. That's big. I have never received the money gun yet. The biggest I received was I think was 400 points or 500 or 300 points. That's the biggest I've got, but and I'm already very thankful already when I received it. So yeah. Let me try something else. Fuck. No. Wrong turn. Oh, and she dies if I do that, so... Oh, I might have known the... Okay. No! Stupid. Okay, let's put her up there. Okay, go up there for the meantime. Then I will put this down. Okay. And then
Do you see that, Nachi? It's time to hydrate with some
Kirkland signature
purified
purified
water
water.
using code NDMU.
Get glued.
Get glued. I still can't figure it out. I thought I got it. God damn. Thank you for the hydrate toys. Here you go. And the stretch. Oh my god, my back. Oh my god, I'm getting EP. See if I can summon the other auntie. Yeah, you don't have to if they're kind of busy, okay? If they're still streaming as well, yeah. As much as possible. Yeah. They might need their free time or stuff. I don't know what you're up to right now. No worries. Okay. Let's just go through this one. This looks like an asylum type shit. Oh.
You're almost there.
I'm doing my best. Almost there. Really?
Are we there yet?
It's right there. Look.
It's right there. Look. Another puzzle. Oh, fuck.
Just a bit more.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, now that is trippy. Together? I don't get. Oh. Oh. Me when I'm stupid. Okay. Got it. Okay. I believe the exit is near. Oh my god. Ow, my ears. That killed me though. So that's what that does. Yeah. No! Oh my god, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Nah. How do I? Okay. What if? What if? No, 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 no. Just one of this and then... No, okay. I believe this. Okay, and then let her through. Oh my god. Oh. Can I use this? No? Oh. 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 What happens here? Okay. I need to drag something, so... Oh boy! Who the fuck are you?
Wait!
Oh, okay. Got you. Oh! How do I? Oh, this is trippy. No! Oh.
Come on, get down! I need this, please.
No. I need this. Nope. Sorry. This is mine.
Come on!
Okay, what does this do? Oh boy. Oh! What? What? I knew it. There was more to this shit. What? That's crazy. That's crazy. Suck. God damn it. So she's just falling. Are you serious? We're back into the bed again? Oh, we were caught escaping. So to bed, but yeah, budge. We're getting budged. That is crazy though. So that was a dream within a dream of a dream. What? So clearly this is a very long game. I might have to end
Where did
it
she go?
here. Oh, hold on.
Right
Let me
here.
check. Oh yeah, she's there. Can I save here though?
Are you
Does it
all
save
right?
here?
Not really. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Revisit. What can we revisit? Okay, so we're already on act. Oh, that's just. We still have 3 more acts to do. And that's how long it was. Will we even like. Or. Hold on. Hold on. Let me try something. I will cry if I will have to redo all of that, okay? But I will close the game. And then reopen it. Hopefully we get to continue at that same point. If not, I will cry. I will cry the fuck out. I swear. Please let me continue on that same area. Or else I'm gonna cry. Shady part of me. Okay, continue. Okay, we continued on that place. Okay, that's good. Okay, we will continue this game on another day. For now, I'm sorry, you guys. We have to go. Yes. Unfortunately, we have to go. I have to go because I want some sleep. I want to sleep early. Yes. And have some time for myself, at least an hour before I go sleep. Because I do a lot of things myself. I do a lot of self-care stuff, like I do journal. I do, of course, hygiene stuff, like taking a brush, toothbrush, my teeth, floss. I I gargle. Then after that, I wash my face, and then I do my skincare before I go sleep. And I take my melatonin and my other supplements and my medis. Suck. Nice one, Cosmic. The nutty night routine. Yes, we have to do a good night routine. Honestly, I haven't been doing this before. I'm glad I'm picking it up again. Yes. Thank you as well for joining me on the stream today. Thank you, Rosie. Thank you, Zoinks. Thank you, Cosmic. Where's the lechon? The lechon is not here. I do want some lechon though. It's been so long. The good old lechon. But the, no, Kirby, no. Why? Why? Shadow. Bruh. Bruh. Alright. My back. My back. Fortunately, I wasn't able to eat the stream. Yes, I didn't get to eat because probably because I have been having good sleep. Okay. The sleep is catching up now. I've been having good sleep for the past 3 days, and I plan to do the fourth day of good sleep. So yeah. Alrighty. Thank you, everyone. Wait, let me check who I can raid with my friends. Is anyone? Coffee is still alive. What? Crazy. That is crazy. Oh boy. I don't have anyone that I know that I if we know what you mean. What? What? Wait, huh? Oh, no one says. No one that I know is like live aside from coffee. Honestly, why not raid to coffee, right? Is he still gonna continue though? Yeah, you know what? Let's just go to coffee. Um, coffee is an unknown mic streamer. So it's okay. Oh, by the way, she's 18 plus channel. Just saying. So feel free to lurk and stuff. Feel free to hang around. Um, he's playing the same. What you call this? Same game as Papaya. earlier, which is Fantasy Life, The Girl Who Steals Time. So we're gonna read the coffee. Okay, behave there, okay? Behave. We're gonna read the coffee. Hold on. Alright. I don't remember he rated me before, but yeah. Peepo! Oh my god, Peepo! I didn't see Peepo live. Wait, let me check with. No, people might also go soon. So I'm gonna go with Mousy. Too big. Yeah. 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 Okay. Let's just go to the coffee. If you haven't followed coffee yet, please. Yeah. We will be reading the coffee. Okay. I hope there's still I hope there's gonna stream more. Pass the raid, okay, coffee, please pass the raid. Alright. If any of the people go live, yeah. Alright, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for joining me, Yap, and do some silly stuff. Did some short game, and it was fun. Honestly, it was fun. I had a lot of good time playing it. Wait, did I change the okay, yeah, I did it. Okay. So yeah, behave with coffee. She's a coffee is a mute streamer, so just chill there, okay? Thank you as well. No stream tomorrow, but we will be having a Discord movie night. So yeah, we will be watching K-pop Demon Hunters. Okay. Good night, you guys. Good night. Bye. Bye-bye. Oh shit, I forgot my raid out message. Fuck. Fuck me. Oh my god. Oh my god. Forgot my raid out message. But I got me. Okay, there we go. I'll just copy the shit. Okay, here we go. Let's just go to coffee. Natural raid, yeah. I forgot my message. I forgot to say my raid message. I always forgot to. Okay.